So some of you might already be thinking, why have a cooking show dedicated to making toast? It's like one of the most basic things that people can make. I have these pet peeves about toast and the way that it's been served to me at restaurants or at any other place or at people's houses. And I feel that even though toast is really easy to make, it's difficult to make to my liking. So I will address my pet peeves regarding toast, and then I will show you guys what I do to make those things not be pet peevy. I speak English really well early in the morning. Right, my first pet peeve regarding toast is that when you try to spread butter on it, it doesn't spread. Like, because you have this toast that's warm-ish initially, but we'll get to that later. And then you have this butter that's really cold unless it's summertime and you have a stick sitting out on the countertop. But if it's winter like it is right now and your house is 50 degrees because you don't have a heater, if this cold butter that's straight from the fridge, hard as a rock, you can't really spread it on the toast. So I have a specific container that I use pretty much exclusively for what I call, well, it's not what I call, I got it from a vegetarian cookbook called Laurel's Kitchen. It's called Better Butter. Well, the first thing we have to do is very carefully soften this butter in the microwave. You do not want to melt the butter. You don't want to separate the milk solids from the fats. You just want to soften it. So put your microwave at like its lowest setting and watch it very carefully. Right, after just 15 seconds, that was, on my very lowest setting on the microwave, it became soft and slightly melted, but if you noticed, I don't know if you could tell from the camera angle, it wasn't like that bright yellow that butter gets when it's melted. It was a very soft, milky, incorporated yellow. So we haven't separated the solids from the fats. Now this stage is really important. I beat it very thoroughly with my mighty fork until all of the little lumps of milk solidy butter get out of it. So the way it is now, it's this beautiful, luscious, it looks kind of like peanut butter, only yellow. So to make it so that it will remain soft even when cold in the refrigerator, we're going to add an equal portion of vegetable oil. That was a stick of butter, which was 8 tablespoons. So we're going to add about 8 tablespoons of vegetable oil. I don't measure it, I just eyeball it. And this is the fun part where you stir it in there. Now it's going to seem pretty soupy as you're stirring it, but this will solidify when you put it in the refrigerator. Just lid it and put it in the refrigerator until it solidifies. Alright, I can't use my Better Butter yet because it's not yet solidified, but I'm hungry right now. Guys!
You are not allowed on the table. This is your first warning pan.
So now, this actually serves as a good segue. Guys! This actually serves as a good segue to bring me to my second pet peeve about toast. Oftentimes you'll get 2 pieces of toast at the same time. I don't like that because, like, while I'm eating my first piece of toast, my second piece of toast gets cold and even a little stale. And I hate cold toast. So what I like to do is I have 1 piece of toast with 1 cup of tea, and then maybe an hour or 2 later I have my second piece of toast with another cup of tea. That means that each piece of toast is nice and crisp and warm and at the height of perfection. So my first piece of toast that I'm going to make while my Better Butter is solidifying, I'm going to make a peanut butter and honey toast. Pick whatever bread you like. I like Oro wheat breads. I like that they're light and cakey and don't have much substance to them. A lot of people don't like that, but I like it. And I like a health nut bread in particular. I like to have a cup of tea with my toast, and I like to have my tea and my toast ready at the same time. And then I make my cup of tea first. Do you see that hot burner? It's still very warm. I like to warm my hands over it because, like I said, my house is really cold. After the burner cools down a little bit, you don't want to do this immediately. I have my saucer ready that I'm going to put my toast on. This saucer is also really, really cold. So once this burner cools down just a little bit, I give it a couple minutes, I put the saucer on the burner so that the saucer will be nice and warm. And when I put the toast on it, the toast won't immediately get cold from the cold saucer. That was pet peeve number 3 or 4. I'm losing count about toast.
Hey, you're not supposed to be on the table. Mwah.
So you may be asking yourself right now, so Sarah, when are you going to finally, put the thing down in the toaster and start making the toast? Not until my tea is completely ready to go and reheated in the microwave. Because again, this kitchen is cold and it makes my hot tea colder than I like it to be. And that'll give my honey more time to come up to temperature in front of the space heater in my office. I like my black tea with a little raw sugar and cream. This tea right now is just a little bit cooler than I'd like it to be. So I'm going to heat it to a little bit warmer than I'd like it to be. While I'm doing that, yes, I'm finally going to make the toast. Once that toast comes out of the toaster, I need to spring into action because it gets cold really quickly. Alright, it's still nice and warm. I'm going to put on some nice warm honey. Spreading the honey first because if you spread the peanut butter first, the honey has a tendency to just slide right off of it. I'm the only one who uses this peanut butter anyway. Spread on that peanut butter. My tea is perfectly at the temperature that I like it to be because I overheated it and it's cooled down in the last minute. And behold, it's nice, crispy, and still warm goodness.
Howdy doodly do. How's it going? I'm Talkie. Talkie Toaster, your chirpy breakfast companion. Talkie's the name, toasting's the game. Anyone like any toast?
No, I did not forget about the better butter. Better butter. Some of that wild plum jam that my aunt made me. Another cup of tea.